Man, Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, man. The WBO ordered Jermell Charlo to take on Tim Tszyu. People acted surprised, bro. Tim Tszyu been the mandatory ever since post Charlo Castanos won. All right, so he been the mandatory. They allowed them to rematch. Then Castanos got injured, and then Tim Tszyu was willing to step in. PBC and Jermell Charlo said no. And then he said, you know what? Then I'm a press them for my mandatory. He pressed him for the mandatory, and then Castanos had to provide cause of injury to grant them extension to fight in a rematch. So he's been the mandatory. Bar none. He's been the mandatory. So people acting surprised. You know, people saying he ain't fought a top 10 opponent. Who did Ocampo? What did Ocampo do to become Errol Spence mandatory? I mean, what did Ivan Uterman do? He had a close fight that could have went either way, or controversial fight with Anthony Durrell that made him the mandatory. He just had got sparked out by Chris Eubanks not too long before that. So I mean it is what it is, man. We can talk about mandatories. I mean, what did Liam Paro do to be the number one contender in the WBO? All right, and I've been saying this, that they need some type of ranking system reform. And my reform, real quick before we get into this article, is the sanction belt body should pick from the same top 10 opponent pool. That's my opinion. You know, they should pick from the same top 10 opponent pool, the bottom 5 and everything under the top 40. You should have to fight one top 15 opponent, one top 10 opponent, and one top 5 opponent before you get a mandatory shot, or before you even get into the top 2 or 3. You know, but you know what? They're not going to do that because they're going to lose money. They get sanctioning fees from different guys and stuff of that nature. And, you know, like I said, it makes mandatory make no sense. I mean, Okondo, who fought Sergey Lipez fought him for the WBO IBF title. You know, Okondo hadn't fought outside his country. Now, albeit, you know, every now and again you get a fighter that's come out of nowhere and they good. And I thought Okondo beat Sergey Lipez. Every now and again, you get one of them dudes that come out there and they pretty good. So he's one of them unknowns that's pretty good, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, it is. Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, go through the mandatory challengers. You know, what did Rolly do to become the interim champion or number one contender? I mean, Alberto Pulo, who they stripped, you know, Josh Taylor for. What has he done? You know, so you go through all this, you know. Tim Tszyu got a lot of money behind, a lot of pull behind him. He fought Terrell Boucher, who was a solid contender, but I don't think it's enough. I think he got the style to beat Charlo, and Charlo act like, you know, he don't want to fight him. They said they had $10 million for Charlo. Charlo said he made 10 his last fight. So I mean, I don't know. To be honest. I don't know. Me being real, I seriously don't know. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Charlo shouldn't even defend the belts. No way, bro. Like, if you're going to stay at 54, just defend one belt or 2 belts. That's what I just defend one belt. That's more money in my pocket. You got to pay a percentage to each belt. I believe he paid what? $65,000, $60,000 from his purse for the belts. And like Andre Ward said, what do you get? You don't get a 401k, you don't get a pension, you don't get health care. That's $65,000. They don't get money going back into your neighborhood. They take that money, put in their pockets. They do get back. They get back to their communities in Mexico, somewhere South America. You know what I'm saying? So IBF don't even want to station here. So they taking your money. It's just belts. Yeah, you want to win them and all that, but shit, 65, 70,000 more out your purse. I think not. So he should just drop the belts. You are undisputed. It's no dispute. It's nobody you didn't fight on your way getting there. So it says Jermell Charlo-Tim Tszyu mandatory title fight ordered by the WBO. It says Jamal, this is wrote by Jake Donovan, shout out to him. He said Jermell Charlo anticipated a swarm of mandatory title defense to come and play the moment he was crowned undisputed champion. The first one is officially on the clock. Houston's Charlo has been ordered to defend his undisputed junior middleweight championship versus WBO mandatory challenger Tim Tszyu. Both fighters and their representative camp were formally informed Tuesday morning to begin the negotiation process for their forthcoming title fight. Quote, please be advised that the parties have 20 days upon receipt of this letter to reach an agreement. Luis Batista Salas, chairman of the WBO Championship Committee, informed both parties via official letter, a copy of which has been obtained by boxing.com. If any accord is not reached within the time frame set forth herein, a purse bid will be ordered pursuant to the WBO regulation of World Championship contest. So Charlo inherits the mandatory title defense previously intended for the then unbeaten WBO junior middleweight titleist Brian Castanos. Both fighters were made aware of Australia's Tim Tszyu, 21-0, 15 KOs, being next in line. And the WBO notified both boxer and TGB promotion Tom Brown of the ruling of May 9th letter that formally confirmed WBO sanctioning of their May 14th undisputed championship rematch. Charlo entered the fight as a lineal WC, WBA, IBF champ, added the WBO strap following the 10th round KO knockout of Castanos at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. So the fight came 10 months after the two fought. I already explained all that. So he says Tim Tszyu wasn't patient. Unbeat second generation boxer in his promoter No Limit Boxing. I thought I told you. Pushed for the mandatory status to enforce earlier this year once Charlo Castanos 2 was officially postponed this March 19th date after Castanos suffered a training camp injury. WBO fielded requests from Tim Tszyu and No Limit Boxing TGB before making a ruling that would allow the rematch to proceed on the condition it took place no later than May 14th, and that the winner agreed to face Tim Tszyu no later than 120 days from the point. Sweetie and the Pop PBC signed Tim Tszyu to a multi-fight deal that began with his off the canvas 12-round points win over Terrell Boucher this past March 26th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Showtime televised event marked U.S. Debut for Tszyu, whose father's Costa is in a Hall of Fame for undisputed junior welterweight champion. Tszyu remained adamant of his next fight being for the division's ultimate prize. Quote, he got 4 months to decide if the fight's going to happen or he's going to vacate. Tszyu previously told Boxing, if he decides to vacate, then I fight the WBO, which means I don't know exactly how that will work, whoever is next in line, I suppose. So should the fight head to purse bid hearing, the minimum acceptable bid is $200,000. Either side can request a purse bid hearing at the point during the order negotiation period. So, it sounds like they already got something in the works. I said Charlie got to figure out what he want to do. You gonna wait for Terrence Crawford? I mean, you gonna wait for Arrow to move up and then vacate. But the next in line behind Tim Tszyu is Liam Smith. So, and then back Rhyme Marsavelli. He's also the number one contender for IBF. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Charlo kind of been seeming a little dismissive of fighting Tim Tszyu. Errol Spence said he trash. He used the A word though, but I mean, yeah, I don't really care. Um, it is what it is. Like I said, it is what it is. So this is a dang fight. I'm seeing too hard a fight. I think Tim Tszyu, his pressure is probably going, could cause Charlo some issues if he can avoid Charlo right hand his power. But I don't think Charlo had a good fight with Brian Castanos, and that was a good warm. I mean, I say that was the that was that got him ready for Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu a little bit more complex. I think Castanos a little bit more complex than Tim Tszyu. So that's I don't think he don't have too much problem with Tim Tszyu. Tszyu got to work on his defense. Didn't Tszyu run from them at the Charlo Castanos at the hotel? He ran from them. It was on Fight Hype. So I don't think. I mean, they be confident he can win, but I don't think he's ready for that. So I mean, people say, well, he should fight Fondor, and nah, nigga, he the mandatory. They say he the mandatory. He earned a mandatory spot. He got a spot. Either fight or vacate. It's as simple as that. Either fight or vacate. No, you only say more and more. And they gave him a multi-fight deal to keep him on chill. So we'll see. But Charlo, that's easy work. But I mean, what did you accomplish from that, bro? He might as well. Either you're gonna wait for Terrence Crawford. Okay, cool. Defend a belt or two, keep a belt or two, and then move on. But then you got to remember too, the WBC Fondor waiting for him. People gonna say if he dropped WBC, he was ducking Fondor. So who knows? He could do whatever you want. You want to go to 60, go to 60. Andrade could be coming back down. I mean, Triple G could be gone. You get the WBA. So your brother could be moving up. He said he's tired of you cutting weight. It's time to move up. So I mean, shoot, do it. So of course, Tim Tszyu didn't earn this fight by our viewpoint, but hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check the boxing news playlist out. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Check my link tree out. It's the first link in the description. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in that link tree, including YouTube. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you think.